Marco Rubio presented himself as sort of this unswerving conservative. Now, will he be that unswerving once he gets to Washington? I don't know. He is one of the Republican Party's, brightest new stars. I think he takes that responsibility seriously. He's, often been referred to as a Tea Party candidate. The New York Times called him the first Tea Party senator. That really is not a full portrait of who Marco Rubio is, and that he is a very much a product of the Republican establishment. And he always reminded when he was asked about the Tea Party, I am a Republican. But he did it in a way that, a very skillful way, so as not to alienate his Tea Party supporters, and not to alienate his supporters that are within the Republican Party. If folks are expecting him to come up here and be the Tea Party senator, I think that they'll be disappointed. What traditionally happens in campaigns is you win a primary, and then when you run the general election, candidates tend to kind of moderate and try to get votes from across the aisle. Now this Senate campaign was very unusual because it was a three-way race, and really, Marco Rubio just had to sort of lock down the Republican base, which is what he did. So he didn't really have to work that hard at getting Democrats and independents. And now that he represents the state and, presumably will, someday run for re-election in a two-person race, you may see him doing a little more outreach. He comes from an environment where Republicans in Florida have been running the show for a while, and so this will be a little bit different for a senator like Rubio. He's got a Democratic White House and will be in a Democratic, even just marginally controlled body. He is kind of used to having the upper hand, and it's going to be more of a tenser environment in Washington, I think.